commitments of the country's peace agreement. South Sudan fell into a bloody civil war soon after gaining independence. More than 40,000 people died. Earlier this week, the country's vice president was arrested. He is the longtime rival to President Salva Kiir. Jody Jacobs, New York.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. We've made it to a Friday, the 28th day of March for 2025. Off we go here. Lots on the plate, as usual, for a Friday, talking about the Nebraska baseball team and the softball team. They'll both be in action this weekend, albeit the Husker baseball team will play a non-conference series this weekend. Hastings College baseball team will be on the diamond this afternoon. Big matchup with the Red Raiders out of Northwestern. Hastings College softball team, they are in action today at the Smith Complex as they take on one of the top teams in the conference in Dakota Wesleyan. We'll talk about that coming up. The Nebraska Kearney softball team also in action this weekend, both Friday and Saturday. Had some high school baseball in the area last night, and the NCAA basketball tournament rolls on. We had 4 games last night, 4 more games tonight. We'll talk about that coming up. So lots to discuss today. We'll also hear from Dana Holgerson. He is the offensive coordinator for the Nebraska football team. The Huskers going through their spring workouts in Lincoln, and we'll get the latest on the Husker offense and how it looks under Dana. Now he's entrenched for the spring season here. We'll get some comments from him coming up. We'll also talk with Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network, as he'll be joining us and talking about the ponies for the weekend, not only at Fowler Park, but also across the nation. So lots to talk about today as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios this morning. Good morning.
You didn't mention opening day yesterday for Major League Baseball getting underway. Big day for the Cardinals as they pick up the victory over the Minnesota Twins in a rain-delayed start. Tyler O'Neill continues what is just a magical run. He has homered in 6 straight opening days. Tyler O'Neill, former Cardinal, and then the Baltimore Orioles, my goodness, they were my pick in the American League East to not only win that division, but also catapult themselves in a competition potentially for the World Series. They poured on 12 on opening day against the Toronto Blue Jays. And by the way, if you're wondering, Mike, and you're sitting here thinking he can't possibly do this for 162 straight days, can he? Oh, yes, he can. Don't challenge me with a good time to talk a little baseball. It was fun to get the season underway yesterday.
Good Lord. 161 games to go, folks.
Let's roll, baby.
Did the Royals win yesterday? I didn't even say. I knew they were losing.
Nope. They played very competitively, and then in extra innings, it got down to the bullpen, and that's your one area of concern. I think if you're a Kansas City Royals fan, as you peek into the season, bullpen could be an issue, and bullpen was an issue yesterday in their loss to the Guardians.
All right, so 161 games to go for the Royals. They'll try to
tally them up, baby.
Try to make up some ground. God. All right.
0-1 hole.
So, all right, did the Cubbies win? We might as well get up to date on everybody. Cubbies win yesterday?
Cubbies were the late game.
Yeah.
I got home. I crashed immediately.
I'm just asking you, did the Cubbies win? I don't need to go into the long dissertation
I'm telling you, I'm looking it up because I don't know. 10-6.
Cubbies lost.
10-6. Cubbies won.
Cubbies won. St. Louis, you told me they won.
St. Louis is officially atop of the Central standings at 1-0 because the Cubbies won, but they're 1-2, so they're still back.
All right, so St. Louis won, Kansas City lost, Cubbies lost. What other fans do we have in the room every day for baseball? What's Chief? Who's he like? Oh,
Chief's a Cubs fan.
Yeah, he's a Cubs fan. All
New
right,
Dog's a Cubs fan.
all right, so we covered everything.
Ryan's a Royals fan. You're a Royals fan.
All right,
Marcus is a Royals fan. Yep.
oh, we got everybody covered.
We're good.
Okay. The NCAA, congratulations, you're no longer in last place.
Let's roll.
In our bracket challenge, 4 games were played last night. Texas Tech, they came from 13 points down in the final 5 minutes of regulation to force overtime. Went on to beat Arkansas 85-83 last night. Alabama, they couldn't miss. They hit 25 three-pointers, a record. They knocked out BYU 113-88 last night. Florida, one of the number 1 seeds, they beat Maryland 87-71. Duke, another number 1 seed, they beat Arizona 100-93. So you've got 4 more games tonight. Ole Miss will play Michigan State. Kentucky will take on Tennessee. Michigan will battle Auburn, and Purdue will play Houston. Lexi Brooks, 22, still leads the Extreme Sports Bracket Challenge. And then you've got, you've got Future Will and the IT guy. They're officially tied for second place now.
That's so cute. I'm so proud of them.
God, are they going to put the candle out on the table again today? Probably tonight when the games are going on, the candle will be flickering. The candle will be flickering, and they'll have some kind of a nice little romantic little dinner as they are both tied for second place in our bracket challenge. They're only
in basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, they're only 30 points behind. Lexi Brooks, 22. Let's see who else is in there. The Bracket Busters, or the Bracket Bustus is how they have it listed here.
Bustus, yeah.
They're in 4th place along with Husker Fan 40s. Picks 1. Tate Mace.
Yeah,
Tate, he's tied for 4th place. Steve C. He is tied for 4th place.
Got King of Beers down there. Let's go.
King of Beers.
I told you, like, I wanted King of Beers. If I wasn't going to win it, the aptly named King of Beers needed to propel himself into the champion.
He's currently in 11th place. Lions Fan. They popped up all of a sudden. Lions Fan 402s. They're currently in 12th place. Mark's Picks, 14th place. Tied with Kalen's Picks. He's in 14th place. And then you'll see me down there. For some reason, I hit all my games last night, and I didn't have one, and I dropped. I dropped to 14th place. 620 points for me, so I'm currently in 4th place, 14th place. In order to find Tyson's picks, you'll have to scroll down to page 3.
I love page 3.
Tyson has improved somewhat. He is no longer in last place, so I can't give him crap anymore about being in last place. You're in 72nd place after last night.
I told you I wasn't going to climb too far out, but today could be different. So I got Auburn, Michigan State, and what was the other one? Kentucky. If that trifecta hits today,
you're going to make a move?
We'll make a move. Auburn, Michigan State, Kentucky would propel me into a really strong position where I'd still have all my Final Four, still have all my teams in the finals, and still have my champion alive.
Yeah, I still got all my Final Fours available. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still got my national champion still available. So the bracket challenge, Lexi Brooks, 22, is still in first place. I am in 14th place, and Tyson is down there in 72nd place. Mm-hmm. As the action will get underway tonight.
Just waiting to make my move. I'm a closer of a horse, right? One that gets out of the gates a little bit slow, just kind of hangs back, lets the other horses tire, and then as soon as they hit turn 3 and 4, it's boom, we're going.
All right, so we're already getting feedback on our social media sites.
We are.
The Steve C, I think, is a Steve Conant from Conadado.
Oh, nice.
And then KK has checked in. The romantic KK.
To set things
Has
straight, I
checked
picked my
his-
bracket myself. I have been with the Wills for 4 years and know how to pick good now. Saying a lot. If you hung around us, you do not know how to pick good. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, she hangs around Shane.
Yeah, that's true.
So her and Shane both have the same picks.
You're
That's what
making that
happens.
up.
That's
You're
what
making
happens.
that up.
That's what happens when you hang around the Wills for 4 years. You learn how to pick things. Yeah, she's in our NASCAR league too. KK is. She might be winning that damn thing too. I haven't checked this week. She might be winning that damn thing too.
NASCAR league.
She's in our NASCAR league. So KK, that's what happens. There is a little bit of a benefit hanging around the Will bunch for 4 years now. God, that seems like a long time. We've known KK 4 years. I could go a lot of places there.
You could.
I could, but
It's
let's
7:10.
yeah, let's roll on, shall
We have
we?
a full show today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Anyway,
want to
we'll-
reel you back in. Good
yeah,
buddy.
reel me back in. I could go a long places. 4 years of KK. Reel me back in. All right.
Okay.
We had some high school baseball last night. Hastings High here on the air last night. They beat Gretna 12-6. Tigers look pretty good. Now they're now 2-0 on the season. They're going to play at Beatrice on Saturday. This is all weather permitting. I bring that up because
Saturday didn't look good.
Saturday does not look good. We're going to play baseball and softball today, and then I don't know what's going to happen on Saturday. A lot of teams are playing. Adams Central is going to be playing in the Elkhorn tournament this weekend. Hastings High baseball is supposed to play at Beatrice. Hastings College baseball is supposed to play at Northwestern tomorrow. So we'll see what the weather does. It's supposed to, and Tim will have an update on this at 7:30. We're supposed to have maybe some storms pop up tonight. Possibly some strong storms with some hail tonight. Tomorrow looks like a miserable day. It's going to be raining most of the day, and then it's going to be cooling down again tomorrow night, and we could see a mixture of rain and snow during the day on Sunday.
The state's so stupid. It's so drunk. I'm so tired of this stuff. Like, hey, a thunderstorm one day, a snowstorm the next. It's Nebraska in March.
The weather is drunk.
The weather's drunk. That's the only way I can describe it, man.
Today we're going to have record or near record highs. So we're going to, it's going to be in the 80s. It's going to be in the 80s today, and it's going to push some record highs. So do I pull out the short sleeve shirts today?
You're going to rock shorts today.
I'm not going to wear shorts.
Hell, if it gets into the 80s, I might turn on the AC.
I'm not going to wear shorts. My legs are too white.
Need to get Harlan to get your tan on?
Well, I need to get something. I'm not going to go out with white legs.
What? Why
I've
do you
got
go out with shorts in the first place so that you can start that tanning process?
I know, but I'll wear shorts like when I'm mowing the yard or something
There you go.
around my own house. I don't want to go out and show my white legs out in public this time of the year, although a lot of people do. And I just think to myself, boy, you got white legs.
I do.
Or go to the tanner. I don't have time to go to the tanner.
Ew, no.
So I just walk around and say, God, you got white legs. I'm not going to wear shorts this time of the year. I
McKenna's
should.
in first in NASCAR league, by the way.
That's what she said.
Yep.
So she does know how to pick.
There you go.
KK, she's making a challenge in our bracket challenge. Plus, she's first in our NASCAR fantasy league. Yeah, to get her in the baseball league. I bet she don't finish first in that. Get her in the baseball fantasy league.
I have two, and I'm rocking in both right now.
Well, God, the first day.
It's a great first day for me.
All right, you're waking up with Mike and Tyson here today. Off to a horrendous start, but things are going to.
Horrendous.
Well, we really haven't talked about anything yet.
That's not my fault that you're talking about 4 years with the Wills and KK. I'm trying to steer the ship, man. You keep diving back in the pool.
I know, but you keep running into the bank. You're steering the ship, but you keep running into the bank, the dock.
All right, we'll take her over, Capitan.
Get me out here in open water so we can get going here, huh? Anyway, 402-834-1330 is our telephone number if you'd like to chime in today on anything we've talked about. Anything we've talked about or anything that's on your mind this morning as you wake up and get going with us here on the Huddle Up. You can leave us a message like a lot of people are already on our social media sites. Mm-hmm. The chief says the Cubs are flying the W flag all over Arizona today.
First one of the season for them.
Might be their last one for a while. Cubbies get on a one-game winning streak, and they think they've won the division.
I think I'm excited for Chicago this year. Like, I'll be honest that they're a good blend of some young talent and some veteran leadership. And, and I say this as a Cardinal fan saying it's not the same if we're not both competitive. And so I have high hopes for both, even though, like, St. Louis could be miserable because their management just does not care.
Here we go again.
I'm just telling you, their
Here we
front
go.
office does not care about
Sure
their
they do.
legacy, that they're retiring, that they're a lame duck. They're not going to spend any more money. They're going to pocket most of it. And so, like, we're bracing for what could be a long season of Cardinals baseball. I don't know. Maybe these young kids could impress. But at the same time, like, you want Chicago and St. Louis to be competitive at the top, because that makes good baseball, and that makes the Central extremely strong.
Come on, you want to know.
You got an up-and-coming Brewers team. You got an up-and-coming Reds team. Like, we want to be competitive, but I'm pulling for Chicago a little bit to make this fun.
Come on, you want to know.
I know.
Chicago's want to know. You want to know.
Chicago's 1-2.
Oh, they're 1-2. That's right. They
Remember
played.
they started the Dodgers series.
That's right.
Yeah.
That shouldn't even count.
Right?
So Chicago's 1-2. You're 1-0.
We're the leaders of the Central.
What the hell are you bitching about? Second day of the Major League Baseball season. Your team's on top of the standings, and you're already bitching about the ownership. This could be
it's like as we're bitching about the weather on Sunday, based on what today is, right?
This is going to be a long year. 161 games to go. You're on top of the league right now, and you're already bitching.
Oh, yeah.
Already bitching about the ownership. They ain't spending any money. We got this. Wah, 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 wah. Mm-hmm. God. All right, 7-17.
You know the rules.
7-17. I'm starting to steer the ship in the right direction here. We're out to open seas here in shallow water. It's 7-17 as we get our first update on news here this morning.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Starting off in Grand Island this morning, where the Heartland United Way raised a record amount of just over $1.8 million in its yearly campaign. The results were announced yesterday at the annual meeting. The Heartland United Way supporting 20 nonprofit agencies in Hamilton, Howard, and Merritt counties. Meanwhile, the city of Hastings will be holding a fair housing symposium coming up on April 17th at the Hastings Public Library. The symposium, intended to share valuable information about safe and appropriate housing in Hastings and the state's landlord-tenant laws. It is intended for both landlords and tenants alike and is free and open to the public. Governor Jim Pillen taking another step at the state capitol in what he says is protecting and preserving Nebraska's vital water resources. Speaking to executive-level members, he kicked off the first meeting of the Water Quality and Quantity Task Force yesterday. Over the next 12 to 15 months, the group will meet to identify short, mid, and long-term goals and accompanying action items to be pursued. The creation of the Water Quality and Quantity Task Force was created after the governor called for the merger of the Department of Environment and Energy with the Department of Natural Resources. It's coming up on 7:20. We'll swing things back over to the Eastside Studios. Mike, what's the haps in sports?
Well, the Nebraska baseball team will host 5th-ranked Oregon State this weekend. Huskers are 10-14 in the season after beating Kansas State 12-8 on Tuesday. Tonight's game gets underway at 7 o'clock. The Nebraska softball team will entertain Purdue this weekend. Huskers have won 4 games in a row after knocking off Omaha 5-0 on Wednesday. They're 24-8 on the season. The two teams are scheduled to play single games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The game tomorrow gets underway at 1 o'clock. Hastings College baseball team will battle Northwestern in a 4-game series this weekend. The Broncos are 5-17 in the season, 2-6 in the conference. The Red Raiders are 15-9 overall. They are 4-4 in the league. Action gets underway at 3:30 this afternoon. Well, the games on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 3:15. Hastings College softball team, they will host Dakota Wesleyan today. The Broncos are 15-13 in the season, 3-5 in the conference after splitting 2 games with Concordia on Wednesday. The Tigers come in one of the top teams in the GPAC. They are 25-8, 6-2 in the conference. First pitch will be at 3. We'll have the action today on Extreme Sports 2, beginning with a pregame show at about 2:45. So baseball today on Extreme Sports 1, softball today at about the same time on Extreme Sports 2. The Nebraska Kearney softball team will also be in action this weekend. Lopers will play at Emporia State today and at Washburn on Saturday. Hastings High baseball team scored 5 runs in the 6th inning to beat Gretna 12-6 yesterday. In action out at Duncan Field, Eli Schneider threw 3 1/3 innings of relief to pick up the win. Schneider allowed 1 run on 1 hit with a couple of strikeouts. Brody Dreer and Adam Rutt had 2 hits apiece for the Tigers. Chance Burton had 3 RBIs. Hastings is now 2-0 in the season and will play at Beatrice on Saturday. Adams Central baseball team, they lost to St. Paul Palmer 6-5 yesterday on the road. The Patriots are now 2-2 in the season. They'll play in the Elkhorn tournament coming up this weekend. Other action yesterday, Grand Island beat Lincoln Southeast by the score of 11-0. Getting to the NCAA Men's College Basketball Tournament last night, Texas Tech came from 13 points down in the final 5 minutes of regulation to force overtime. They went on to beat Arkansas 85-83. Alabama hit a record 25 three-pointers to knock off BYU 113-88. Florida defeated Maryland 87-71, and Duke beat Arizona 100-93. Tonight, Ole Miss will play Michigan State. Kentucky will take on Tennessee. Michigan will battle Auburn, and Purdue will take on Houston. That's a check on your sports headlines, 7:22 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Warm and windy conditions on this Friday and changes coming for the weekend. Hey everybody, Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. Today on Friday, a high of 86 degrees. South-southwest winds increasing to 25 to 30 miles per hour with gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, a chance for a few strong to severe thunderstorms. Better chances, I think, will be north of Interstate 80. That'll be later on in the evening. An overnight low of 50 degrees and a chance of rain and rain-snow mix this weekend.
Right now, as you wake up, get going this morning, we've got south winds already at 18 miles per hour. Step outside, it's nice. It's 61 degrees at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, located at 208 South Burlington, Suite 101 in Hastings. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating scalp treatments, and Advanced Glow 2 facials, along with ozone therapy and frequency healing. Join us for our spring open house on March 29th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Enjoy free tours, 20% off all bookings, exciting giveaways, and a chance to win a $100 gift card for the first 30 product purchases. Become a member for 24-hour access to amenities like the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge, plus discounts on services and products. Visit us on Facebook to learn more. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Truly holistic care designed for you.
Conant Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Abronic with you on a Friday morning again, the 28th day of March for 2025. Thanks for joining us wherever you're listening to us online. That's great at x-streamsports.com. Maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. We're everywhere. But thanks for joining us. If you'd like to chime in again, 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. I'd like to leave us a message on the social media sites. We're monitoring all those sites as well. But it's coming up to close to 7:30 on a Friday. You know what that means.
They're moving into the gate.
And down the Suckley come in the Kentucky Derby, and Barbaro is running away. It's Edgar Prado aboard, and Barbaro is going to win this Derby by 6 lengths. Blue Best had second. From far back, Steppenwolf came on to be third.
All right, every Friday we like to check in with Jim Schleicher from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. We've got Jimmy on the phone here this morning. Jim, how are you? Good morning.
Good. It's fantastic. Look at this weather out here. We can't get much better today, can we?
It's Pony Weekend. It's Pony Weekend. Today is going to be a great day at Fauner Park. We'll be talking about some Fauner selections and other racing going on throughout the nation. What's on the agenda? What's tops on the agenda for this weekend?
Tops on the agenda is the stakes race on Saturday, the Spring Tradition Handicap and their Handicap Stakes. And this is really exciting for Nebraska this year because Nebraska breeding is really stepping up where, with the increased purses and things like that. So this is an open company stakes race, but it has 2 Nebraska breds in here that aren't afraid to take on last year's national championship for most wins in a season with Tennessee Moon. Tennessee Moon's back, but last year, if you'll remember, she got beat last year by PR Oddsetter.
And the PR Oddsetter and Tennessee Moon both in that Saturday stakes race, Jim, as we look at the card and open up. And I think maybe kind of one of the main concerns that we've been talking a little bit about heading into this weekend. Certainly, we're kind of keeping an eye on Mother Nature. Is there some concern, some crossing of the fingers going on right now in Grand Island?
There is with a few of the connections, but I really like what Tim Jones had to say on the weather. He says he hopes it's north of I-80, and let's hope it stays north of Grand Island. I mean, I know we need the moisture bad. The farmers want the moisture. The firefighters definitely want the moisture, but, still racing. We got to race whether it's a fast track or whether it's an off track, so it should line up to be a very good race either way.
All right, so plenty of action coming up at Fauner Park here this weekend. We always like to give some folks a chance to win a little money. Jimmy, what are you looking at this weekend?
Well, on Friday, today, I'm looking at a couple of races. I'm looking at race 1 and a horse by Addie's Thunder. This horse has a lot of speed. He was beaten in his very first out by a horse called Flash and Chip. And if you notice out of that maiden race, Flash and Chip come back the very next start and won again after beating Addie's Boy. Then Addie's Thunder, and Addie's Thunder come back to win his next start. This horse is improving in his only 2 starts, and I look for him to come back and win again today. And I'm making Addie's Thunder my best bet of the day. And then if we want to jump ahead to a long shot, race 4, wrong direction. That's kind of misleading. I think he's going to be going in the right direction today. He's in a new barn. He's got a new jockey. This horse hasn't done well in his 2 starts here. He does have a lot of back class. Last year he run fairly well, and he's staying in the same class. I think the new jockey, the new barn, we put a new rider on him. He had an apprentice last time. I think we're going to see a remarkable improvement, and we could have some good odds there. And then if we want to jump to Saturday, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good, Jim.
Okay, and then if we want to jump to Saturday, I like race 8. I like a horse called Oregon County. Oregon County's done everything they've asked for him this year, and this race has a ton of speed in it. And Oregon County has a lot of tactical speed, so I think he can lay just off the paces. But should nothing go for the lead, he could go out and set his own pace and win this race. So with that tactical speed like that, I think he'll lay just right behind him and win. And then my other long shot for the weekend, very first race on Saturday, we start out with Fireball. It's another race. It's totally loaded with speed. So many horses want to go to the lead. Can Fireball have the patience to lay just behind them? Stalk him, wait for the leaders to come back to him. I think he could, and I think we're going to see a big speed duel out front of him. And if the jockey's patient enough to lay right behind him, stay close, I think Fireball will run him down in the stretch.
Hey, Jimmy, I like Jimmy, I like Fireball too, but it's not the horse; it's the drink.
It's the drink, yeah. I agree. It's spelled a little different though, but we'll go with that though.
Could be a
but yeah, I think that's a chance to make some money this weekend.
Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us here this morning on Huddle Up as we talk all things Fauner Park. And like we mentioned, we're crossing our fingers. We're going to be optimists for the weekend and Saturday. But should conditions warrant and the track turn to more of a muddy, sloppy track, does that kind of change in terms of the handicapping strategy, especially when it comes to the Saturday stakes? We know what Tennessee Moon can do on a fast track. We've seen PR Oddsetter certainly right there with him. Then you throw in, I think, the one horse from the Anderson barn makes for a pretty competitive and sexy try there for some exotics. But is there a horse that stands out if conditions start to deteriorate on the track?
If things deteriorate, we still have to look at Tennessee Moon. The track is totally had a speed bias here lately, and if we go to an off track, I don't think that's going to change. And I think Tennessee Moon will be able to handle an off track yet. So, I'd like to hope the Nebraska breds are going to run really good. I think they stand a great chance in here. For the odds, if I can get some really good odds on PR Oddsetter, I've got to take that horse. But it's tough to bet on Tennessee Moon when I think Tennessee Moon's probably going to go off at around 3 to 5. And it's just, she got beat last year, and we could see that again this year.
All right, so there's some great picks, a couple of best bets for you for the weekend at Fowler Park, a couple of long shots from Jimmy from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. What about nationally? Anything going on that we need to know about nationally, Jim?
Well, nationally, it's a huge weekend, especially in the Derby prep races. We're getting down to the wire here. We're a month away now, almost 5 weeks away from the Kentucky Derby. So there's some major contenders going on today or tomorrow, actually, on Saturday. The Arkansas Derby, which sends quite a few winners to the Kentucky Derby. Also, we see the Florida Derby. Like I said, we see a lot of Kentucky Derby winners coming out of these two races. And so there's some two really good races here, and the one that really stands out to me that's going to be the most interesting one, probably the Arkansas Derby. Bob Baffert sends out a horse in this. It's only run one time in his life. It's the name of it's Cornucopian. But that horse just blew him away going 6 furlongs. It run a fast time, 109 and change. It's bred to go a distance. It's out of the sire Into Mischief, which we know one of the top sires in the world, and it passes a lot of that on, passes the distance on, so 1 mile and a 16th shouldn't be a problem, or 1 mile and an 1/8. This horse should be able to go the 1 mile and a 1/4. But it's also very untested. You also have Coal Battle in that race. Coal Battle, that's kind of the Cinderella horse this year by a little unknown trainer, Lonnie Brinley. 70-some-year-old guy that he's got his Derby horse, and this horse has already knocked off $1 million in earnings, and he's only into March in his 3-year-old campaign. So there's a lot of interest going on there. Can Cornucopia take him the distance? I guess we're going to find out tomorrow. We could also have the rain down there, just like we're having up here coming through. So that one will be very interesting.
Jim Sliker again joining us, previewing the weekend card here for Fowler Park as they get set for another weekend of horse racing action. And you mentioned it, already getting down to the nitty-gritty, just 5 weeks to go here until the Kentucky Derby. And so really kind of the halfway point, if you will, of the horse racing season here at Fowler. Has there been a trainee? We talk about the horses all the time, and you can look at training times and handicap and put your exotics together. But has there been a jockey training combo, Jim, that has kind of come up to the front? And maybe if you see a jockey on a horse in your programs that you can't quite always rule out because they're having a successful season, has there been some that have risen to the top there?
Well, we still see the same thing that we see every year. We're seeing Mark Hibden. This year, though, he's got a new rider in here in David Cardoso, and them two have teamed up very well. They've won about 40% of their races. Another one to look at, the perennials, is Kevin Roman and Izzy Gonzalez. But something that's kind of interesting there is Kevin Roman rides first call for Izzy, but when we start looking, Jose Medina also rides some of his and does very well. Then you look at Kevin Roman and Jose Medina. If you see them on a David Anderson horse, they're very hot. So the cream is rising to the top. In the trainer standings, you're seeing the same three again. You're seeing Mark Hibden. You're seeing Izzy Gonzalez. Dave Anderson sits in third. We look at the jockey standings. You got David Cardoso leading it here. But interesting part is, when it comes to the stakes races, Kevin Roman's picking up the wins there now. And then Jose Medina sitting in third. So those three have risen to the top perennial every year for us. So that hasn't changed a lot.
All right, so some news and some tips if you're heading to the races today or sometime this weekend. Remember, racing up at Fowler Park this weekend. If you'd like to follow Jim's picks, it's real easy to do. Hop on his Facebook group, and Jimmy has selections each and every day at Fowler Park. And Jimmy, like we said, all your picks are there. You mentioned a couple of races for Fowler today and tomorrow, but all your picks are there each and every day.
They are there each and every day. The one thing I usually don't post is like my Derby prep races, and so I will highlight that a little bit. In the Arkansas Derby, I'm going to step back a little bit, and I'm going to go on Sandman. he's got a new jockey in Jose Ortiz, and he's just been beaten by the favorite in here, Coal Battle, and the Smarty Jones and the Rebels. He'll be coming off the pace, but I think the jockey change is really gonna make a huge difference there. And the other one, the Florida Derby, well, I like Sovereignty. He's going to be the favorite. He's won the Fountain of Youth. He's won the everything they've thrown at him, the Street Sense lately, and he'll be off the pace also. There should be plenty of front runners up there. So them are the two I like there if you're coming out to play. Remember, you can bet the simulcast racing at Fawner. You can also, if you're listening from Lincoln, Omaha, Columbus, you can go to your local outlets there and be able to bet all these races too.
All right, Jimmy, it sounds great. Looks like you've set us up for a maybe a profitable weekend. Hopefully some of those selections come through and make a lot of people happy come tomorrow morning or Monday morning at least.
Well, I hope I can make everybody happy. I hope I can make myself happy this weekend because there is a big handicapping contest going through both the Lincoln and Omaha Warhorse outlets to qualify for a later one in the fall here for the FloCal Challenge. And so I'll be in that one. So I'll be playing my own picks here. So I hope they keep your betting low because I need some good odds so that I can make that challenge in. Yeah.
Well, that's what happens. The last time I went to the track, all the selections you took, we thought we were going to get good odds, and I get to the track, and they're almost even odds, and that's what happens in this show. You throw your picks out there, and you drive the odds down.
Well, I had a couple of the backside people last week tell me that I just kind of need to stay quiet on some of these horses because they want to make some money too, and you're killing us. So maybe you should just say I kind of like the 3, the 6, and the 8 in this race, and you guys make a decision.
Yeah, hi. We enjoy your insight. We're learning a lot about the ponies on our weekly chat here on a Friday morning. So hopefully you can make some money. You got to get in that contest this weekend. I hope you do well in that thing too.
Well, thank you. I look forward to it. Do good or do bad. Well, you know what? It's going to be a beautiful weekend of racing. The beer's going to be cold out there, and we're going to enjoy it and have a good time. So it's all good.
All right, tell the folks how they can follow your picks again, Jimmy.
Okay, if you want to follow the picks and insights on Nebraska racing or some of the other racing around the area, go to Facebook and look up the Facebook group. It is a group, Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network, and just go ahead, click on that. You can join the group. It don't cost you anything. Everything will be on there. You can comment on favorable or non-favorable. I'm up to it. I'll take the challenge here. And you'll see everything that we have in Nebraska racing here.
Jimmy, have yourself a great weekend, bud.
I'm going to try to. And just remember, if you come out to the track, the beer will be cold, you'll have fun, and you can bet on it.
All right. Jim Slanker, the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. He joins us each and every Friday to get us up to date on the Fawner Park news and all the news around the nation as we get closer to Kentucky Derby time, which is coming up with the first weekend of May.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's what's going on. I wrote down Jimmy's selections. Hopefully, maybe I can sneak up there. I don't know when. I guess I can drive up there this morning before I got baseball today.
Before baseball?
Drive up to Grand Island and place some wagers.
Stop by here, grab a 20 if you're doing that. I'll give you a list.
All right, so that's what's going on.
I like with Sandman in the Arkansas Derby. Like that was one that jumped out at me when I was looking at the Derby prep races, kind of the weekend card, and Sandman just it jumped off the page. So I'm gonna back Jimmy's play there. No need for me to get on the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network and give him backlash for that pick. That one looks good. And
I like his long shot on Saturday, Fireball.
Yeah, right?
Not that I know anything about Fireball the horse. I know about Fireball the drink. That's how I pick some of my My horses want to go to the
Fireball,
track.
that's good.
That's good. I like Fireball. Let's choose him.
I associate Fireball with a good time, and good time means money, so let's bet Fireball across the board. Here we go.
All right. Wrong Direction. That's another one of his long shots. That's in the 4th race today.
Wrong direction, go in the right direction.
It's kind of like the direction of this show. We're going in the wrong direction.
Oh no, we're clearing open waters now. We got Jim done, and we got some horse racing talked about. But we got to talk about the Husker offense.
Let's talk about football, shall we? Huskers going through their spring workouts in Lincoln. This is the first week. I think this is about day number 3 if they're practicing again today.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Dana Holgerson, the offensive coordinator, joined us yesterday as he was before the media yesterday, and he said he actually spent the entire month of January just kind of sitting back and analyzing the Husker offense.
January, I didn't have to go out on the road, which was awesome. So I sat here for a month and just watched every cut up, and figured out stuff I wanted to do, figured out stuff that I didn't want to do. There's subtle changes in terminology. There's subtle changes in, whether it's sets or plays or whatever. But the majority of it's going to stay the same. I mean, we have good coaches here. This is a good scheme. It makes sense to Dylan. It makes sense to Coach Raiola, which from an O-line perspective is incredibly important. Made some changes with, the pass game and, with some different sets and stuff that makes sense to me, and just kind of kept narrowing it down. I came up with three good installs that we've been through a couple of times, and it's I got to figure out what our team is, what our offense is, as far as what the direction it goes. I can take the same offense that we had. I'm going to be a lot more comfortable with it, but then tweak it based on what I see being good, seeing bad. And that's what spring football is all about. So excited to be in it. Been here working with them for 4 weeks, and in the off-season stuff, mat drills, commitment week. But we got some football stuff in, so we set our spring installs based on that, and we've been through it, 3 times right now. So all that's good. Excited about it. Now it's just figure out who are our players, who are our better players, what do we do well. That's going to take a long time. I mean, I can't answer any of that right now. I mean, we'll go through all spring, have a better idea. We'll go through 3-4 weeks of OTA style stuff in the summer, and then obviously camp. So what it looks like against Cincinnati and Arrowhead, y'all's guess is as good as mine.
And we also talked about the quarterbacks who are lined up behind the projected starter, and Dylan Raiola.
Jalen Gramstad call him Granddad. He's the old guy. It's just, it's a coincidence what the last name is, because he really does act like a granddad. I mean, he's a great leader. He's got a ton of experience. I was glad that he came back. I mean, he gives us another guy that knows the offense. Smart kid. Got a lot of reps last year, especially in January, in February or December. He got a lot of reps because he was the number 2. And so he throws a good ball. He knows the offense. He knows the terminology. Kids like him. Feel comfortable with him. TJ and Marcos, guys coming in, have a lot of talent. They just need to learn it. It's going to take them a year to learn it. So how much they progress, they're going to get better every time they go line up. And we got a long ways to go to let those guys compete. Who the backup's going to be, I don't know. It'd obviously be Jalen right now, just based on the fact that he understands everything.
Jalen Gramstad, as you well know, is the transfer, the walk-on from Northwestern College in Orange City, Iowa. Anyway, Dana Holgerson says Dylan Raiola looks good physically as they get ready for spring practice here.
His body looks good. His biggest January, February, even into March on spring break, we're like, okay, what are you doing for spring break? He came back 5 pounds lighter, so he's really focused hard on his body physically, and he feels good. And you guys know how it is when your body's better and you feel good, it gives you confidence, and you're probably going to play a little bit better, you know. So that's a big thing. Credit to him for the hard work that he's put in. You know, just he's so smart. You know, I you know, talking to the button and read off the plays, and he I get about halfway through it, and he's like, okay, I got it, no problem, you know. So really working on his leadership skills, taking charge. I noticed that he was kind of in the shadows when I got here. He didn't really want that because so much was put on him. You know, he's an 18-year-old kid that is leading the offense. Okay, when you try to do that at 18 and then try to lead a team, that's challenging, you know. And so he's working on that right now, and I see a tremendous amount of growth with him, with his leadership skills. He's a good teammate, and he understands the importance of leading, and that's rubbing off on a lot of the guys.
All right, again, we're listening to Dana Holgorsen, the offensive coordinator for the Huskers. But what about the most important thing?
Run the damn ball.
Let's talk about the running back room.
We know what Emmett can do. I mean, he showed it when I got here real quick, you know, and so, you know, he to me looks like a different kid right now based on the fact that he's confident. You know, he's got some good stuff ahead of him. You know, he's like, you know, the 4 games with you here, Coach, it was good, but it's not nearly as good as what it's going to be. I believe that. I mean, he looks really good. He's taking on a leadership role. He's the old guy in the room, and we got a bunch of young guys that don't have reps after that. You know, I don't view that as concerning. I view it as optimistic and challenging, and you know who they are. I mean, it doesn't matter who they are. You know, I mean, you know, Quentin Ives is probably the next guy that has reps. Had a huge December. You know, when the other guy left, he got all those reps. He looks fantastic right now. You know, and then the rest of them are all young. You know, so this is going to be a big spring for them. You know, because they're going to have opportunities to be able to get a lot of reps and make a lot of progress.
And the coach finally talked about the rushing attack. He is going to center his attention on the running game this year. He says he gave up his air raid routes in year 3 or 4 when he was at West Virginia.
But it's been of evolution. I mean, I used to yell at Coach Leach, rest in peace. How about, he goes, what should we call? How about a run play? You know, why we want to do that? Okay, let's run the ball. We handed the ball off, and we didn't get any yards. He's like, well, I ain't ever calling that crap again. You know, taking the OC job at Houston. My good friend Kevin Sumlin said, I want you to do everything you're doing, but we got some run game stuff. But it's not a spread, but it's the whole motion run game stuff. That's when it kind of started a little bit. Going to Oklahoma State, Gundy was tough, physical, tight ends, fullbacks, run the ball, good backs. Had 3 backs that were all NFL players. So, you know, we went up to, I mean, Whedon threw for 4,500 yards, but Kendall Hunter had 15. You know, in West Virginia, transition to, like, the first 2 years, Geno, Tavon, Stebbin, all those guys, we threw it a lot. And then we didn't have those guys. And so we really started focusing on run the game. That's when the gap schemes came, the counter, power, true duo inside zone stuff. Learned a lot of run game and did that a lot. Had 1,500 yard rushers at West Virginia. So it's always been a focus, and I don't put a number on it because I know how to practice it. And then you get into the game, and what are they giving you? If they want to take away the run, they can take away the run. I mean, we're just throw the ball all the time. If they want to take away the pass, then we're going to run the ball. So it's always a cat and mouse game, chess match, whatever you want to call it, as far as what those yardage end up. I got goals for our offense, but it's not how much rushing yards or how much passing yards or any of that. It's more about efficiency, first downs, third down conversions, touchdown in the red zone. Things that matter. To me, yardage doesn't matter.
And again, the only thing I count is touchdowns. Just touchdowns. I don't care how they get there, just touchdowns.
The only important thing at the end of the day, you could outgain somebody by 500 yards, but if you're on the wrong end of the score column, you pick up the loss. So, yeah, that's all I give a damn about. Get into the end zone.
Just run the damn ball or throw the damn ball. I don't care.
You can totally hear that conversation between Mike Leach and Dana Holgerson happening on the headsets. What do you think we should run here? Let's do a run play. What the hell are you doing that for? I love Mike Leach, the old Pirate, and unlike he says, rest in peace. One of the greats, but never. In his history, like you look back, when did they run the ball? I mean, whether it was Washington State, Texas Tech, or Mississippi State, he was past first, he was past second, he was past third, and if all three of those things failed, well, you might as well pass again. So, I could totally hear that conversation happening between Dana and Mike. That was great stuff.
But Dana seems to be changing his coaching style, philosophy. Maybe as his years are wearing on, maybe he has got to figure out that sooner or later you got to run the damn ball.
But he also mentioned, he talked about West Virginia and his air raid offense over there. Your offense should replicate what you have on the field. And if you have a Steve Slayton, if you have a good wide receiving core and Geno Smith to get him the ball, who was a great college quarterback, you're going to air it out more. Right? I mean, because of the talent that you have, simply put. And so when you take a team like Nebraska and you look at us on the snapshot, and we are very balanced, and we have a deep running back room, well, that gives you the ability to run to set up the pass and be a little bit more efficient offensively. So he's kind of changing his coaching philosophy based on the chess pieces he's got on the board. I love that.
Put the Kool-Aid down, Shane says.
Oh, no. No.
Check out the social media sites.
Here we go.
One big gulp. Everybody lift up their cups this morning. Lift up their cups. Take a big old gulp of Roulade.
I'd love to take a big gulp, but that is hot coffee. Hot coffee.
Keep the expectations low. Put the Kool-Aid down, boys.
Stop it.
That's what they're saying. Put the
10
Kool-Aid
wins.
down. Anyway, yeah, that's what you said yesterday.
We're going
10
to the
wins.
playoffs, baby.
We're playing for the national championship.
Roulade, let's roll.
Let's see if we continue to talk about this in October, November. It'll be something else, I'll guarantee you. 7:56, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning on Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. We seem to blow by our news breaks on Friday.
It happens on a Friday, doesn't it?
It happens all the time.
Softball, baseball today. Let's hit the broadcast schedule once again. We've had some games that have gotten maneuvered a little bit to try to prepare for Mother Nature. I mean, ponies might be able to run on a sloppy track, but it's not good for the diamond sports, and so they pushed things up, and we got a double dip for you today on Extreme Sports 1, and we're busting out Extreme Sports 2 here for the first time this spring.
Yeah, so you'll have softball on Extreme Sports 2 today, 2:45 pregame, 3 o'clock for the first pitch of the doubleheader, Hastings College softball against Dakota Wesleyan. Here on Extreme Sports 1, we'll have Hastings College baseball versus Northwestern. It'll start at 3:15 for the pregame show. 3:30 will be the first pitch, the doubleheader. So baseball here, and softball will be on Extreme Sports 2 today. Why? Because that's what we can do here. And if we run into a jam, we've got Extreme Sports 3 just waiting to roll out from the bullpen.
Ooh, I like that reference. Nicely done.
I know. Hopefully we don't need Extreme Sports 3 today, but if we run into a jam somewhere, we've always got Extreme Sports 3. That's what we do here. So anyway, that's the schedule for today, and then tomorrow baseball is scheduled. Hastings and Northwestern in games 3 and 4 of the series. They've got that going for 1 o'clock tomorrow. Pregame will be at 12:45. That'll be here on Extreme Sports 1 tomorrow, weather permitting.
Jim says if we're not drinking the Roulade in October. And I'm not talking playoff baseball because my Cardinals won't be there. We can always talk Breeders' Cup in October from Jim Schleicher.
Yeah, we might still be talking to Jim by October. Who knows?
Well, I think he's just become a fixture of the show now. I mean, can he pick football games? Because he can join the Blazing Five.
Yeah, we'll put him on Friday's Blazing Five during the fall. Hell, he could do as well as we did.
It's not very hard. Sometimes all you got to do is get 1 of 5, and you do better than we did.
I think I got smoked one week, didn't I?
You did. You got skunked.
I had no winners.
You took a skunker in one of the weeks. That was the week that Timmy decided to join the show, and he thought it was going to be real easy. He goes 4-1 out of the gates, and he's thinking this is the easiest thing in the world, and then he goes back to reality, and I think he finished 2-3 for the rest of the year.
He just kind of faded away.
I told you, over-unders are sucker bets, man, and he was betting like 4 over-unders a week.
Yeah, he just kind of faded away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we got to another hour.
1 minute till 8 o'clock.
We got on the boat today. Kept banging the boat up against the shore when we were talking about KK. 4 years hanging around with the Will Bunch. She finally figured out how to pick basketball games, football games,
really.
And now racing. So something has come out of this relationship.
6, 6:30, 8:30, and 9 tonight, by the way. CBS and TBS going to be splitting up the coverage of the Sweet 16 second matchups. So catch some Sweet 16 basketball after you catch some Hastings baseball or softball.
Lexi Brooks.
Or both.
Lexi Brooks still on top of the bracket challenge.
See how the weekend unfolds and shuffles out.
I'm going to watch the standings in our bracket challenge.
Can you believe it's already almost April? Like, we're going to be pushing to the Sweet 16. We're going to get through the Elite 8. I mean, and then it's April.
When we talk again, Monday is like the 31st, isn't it? Yeah. Tuesday's
April Fool's Day.
Oh, God, I hate that day.
We have less office pranks to deal with now. Significantly less.
Yeah, I don't have
unless Raj is pulling a prank on you, I think you're good.
Yeah, and you don't have anybody in your office.
No.
Yeah, I thought it used to be a miserable day, April Fool's Day. That's
Especially
on
when we
Tuesday.
took live calls.
Yeah.
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 You want to shut the phone off Tuesday?
Remember when I did that stupid show?
I wasn't going to get into it.
I did that damn stupid show at 9 o'clock every morning.
We damn near canned it on April Fool's Day.
Yeah. In fact, I did a couple of times.
Did you?
When they were trying to sell the mayor's car. Yeah, they were trying to sell the mayor's car. That's when I shut her down.
Yeah.
I shut that.
Thanks. That was fun.
Yeah, I shut that show down quite a bit. I'm glad I'm not doing that show anymore.
This show's way more fun.
Oh, yeah, this is a lot more fun. A lot more fun. All right. Well, we got through another week. I don't know how we did it, but we did. We got lots of things coming up again next week. Remember, you can listen to this show again if you want to recap of Jimmy's picks. That was probably the highlight of this show. You can highlight Jimmy's picks. You can listen to the podcast again on any of our social media sites, even on the Roku TV app. You can find a little spot there to listen to this show again. And we didn't even mention our trivia game. I was supposed to mention that again. Our brand new trivia game that we launched. Go to our website, x-streamsports.com/trivia. We've got a new trivia game up, sports trivia, local and national sports trivia. You can test your skills up against Extreme Sports in our trivia game. Get signed up just to keep track of all the scores and everything. But try it out this weekend, x-streamsports.com/trivia. And if you're out like at Bullseye or something and having a beer or two and you watch our channel out there, it's also involved with the Roku channel, and you can kind of play along as you sip down a beer or two at our most favorite place, Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill.
Just 2?
2 per hour. We got to drink, pace. It's called pace.
Don't you dare limit me on the weekend.
That's right. All right, we'll have a softball, we'll have baseball coming up today on Extreme Sports 1 and Extreme Sports 2. Anything else we need to mention before we get out of here?
I just want to give a quick tip of the cap to Jim Schleicher. He's a card